All right, everyone, please let's begin. We'll just wait. We'll continue as others join us. Good afternoon, everyone. Please, I hope you can hear me, please. Good afternoon, Gladys, Rhoda, Florence, Victoria, Fumelala, Bome, and Charity. Good afternoon. Please, can you hear me? Can you all hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Good afternoon, sis.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to today's training. I'll just start on time, so we don't delay.
Good afternoon, Madam Esther. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, as I was saying, so I'll just want us to start on time so we don't delay our facilitator who is coming on board to take us on our training. So, all of us, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Watch Beef and welcome to today's graphic design training. And last month we had the training on graphic design using the Canva app. So today we'll be learning how to use that of Photoshop today. So we're concluding our training on Canva app. I must really appreciate our facilitator who took us through, first of Evan Smiles. He was able to take us through, and I'm sure every one of us were able to learn one or two things from the previous training. That's Canva app. We had our ladies who were building beautiful graphic design using the Canva on the phone, on their phone. So I want to appreciate everyone who has been able to join and support it, and who has supported training and followed up with this training also. So I want to take care of our time. So since all of us know what Coach Brief is all about, I'll just do a review of what we did in the last month. I'll just share what we did last month.
Hello, Daddy.
Yeah, like, what we did last month. Please, can you all see my screen? Please, can you all see my screen? Hello. Please, can you see my screen on graphic design training on Canva app? Okay, this was what we did in the last month, which is design principles. We were able to take us through the design principles. We were able to take us through design principles, the types of graphic design. So we were able to take us through graphic design also. And these are things we learn using the Canva app. In the previous training. So I will just allow our facilitator to take it on board. We're going to continue with the Photoshop, using the Photoshop app today. And Photoshop app has to do with our laptop and our PC. So I don't know if some of us are actually using our laptop or our PC to join today's training. So we can just follow through whatever our facilitator is actually taking us through today. Evans, please, are you available now? Can you take up the training now?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me.
All right, so you can begin then. So don't take much of our time.
All right, okay. I don't know if it's everybody that was here last week, the last time that was here, that is here now.
What did you say?
I just wanted to find out if it's everybody that was here last time that's still here, if there are new people.
Okay. Do you have anyone who's joining us, Nini? I hope everyone was joining. Please not to be on the platform if you're joining. In the chat box, if you all joined the training. Please signify on the chat box if you joined the last training, please. I can see some members who actually joined us, who are part of this training.
What's that sound in the background? It's distracting. All right, everybody. Am I audible? Hi, I'm not getting a response. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, okay.
Hear you.
Okay, just to quickly brush through, I don't know if everybody that was here before. Um, was it, if there's any new person here, but previously, I think like what as I was saying, that we talked about graphic design, the process of what graphic design is, what um, it means to be a graphic designer, what the process of graphic design means, and I'll just quickly brush through it. Some of the things I said, I was like, graphic design is the process of creating visual content that helps to communicate messages with an audience. That's basically design is basically what you put out for people to see. That's what we call your graphic design. The image or the perspective or your vision that you want people to see when you want to present something to anybody. The graphic design is based on is in different formats, but it's basically designing what people will see. It can be on your devices on sorry, can we okay. It can be on your devices, it can be on the on a banner or on a signpost somewhere. Even the design of what your how your phone appears, that's also an aspect of designing. So it's a very vast topic, but I'm just going to be talking about designing like the basic the how to implement it in our businesses, or how to use your graphic design knowledge to create posters for your business, or even if you want to go do it as a business on its own, as be a graphic designer. There are steps to take, or basic things we should know, which I talked about last week. Some of the graphic design elements, some of the types of fonts, what a font is, and then we also talked about in colors and color emotions, and how we can use colors to represent an emotion, how each color has a specific emotion. Like for instance, we said blue it signifies trust, security, corporate, peaceful, faith, wisdom, and how purple also represents royalty, luxury, red represents intense, danger, green represents energetic. Uh, all right, are we still together? Hi everyone. Are we still together? Is everybody still hearing me? Am I still communicating? You can just signify in the chat
Yes.
box. Okay. All right.
Hello, please, can you all hear me now?
I can hear
Hello.
you.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I had a break in network. That was why I couldn't join in on time. I had to go out to come
Okay, I was talking
in.
about.
Okay, Mr. Evan, please you can take over. Those that didn't join the previous training, the I posted it on our YouTube page. So, and the link has been shared on the platform. For those who don't have access to it the previous time, they can go to the YouTube page to check, to view it, and to watch it so they can follow up. So we just don't
All right.
have to delaying ourselves today. So you can go
All
ahead
right.
with what we have today.
All right. Okay. So we're going to be going into Photoshop, how to use Photoshop to create designs. Let me just share my Photoshop screen. I don't know if everybody has Photoshop or if they've been able to install it. At least do I have at least one or two people that has the Photoshop app? Someone said they can't hear me. I don't. Can you hear me now?
I can.
I kept seeing somebody said on the chat box that they can't hear me. Charity. So I want to share my screen. I don't know if everybody can see my Photoshop screen. Can we all see the screen?
Yes.
All right. Okay. If you don't have the app, I
Yes,
think I
sir.
sent. I think if you don't have the app, I think I sent a link back before we started the previous meeting on how to get the Photoshop app. And this is the Photoshop CC 2017. So this for the year 2017. So it's a bit older. So if you have a system that doesn't mind carrying load, that's like a high-end system, you can get a newer version if you want. But this is the one that I know it's easier for people to get, and there's a way you can get it free for a period of time. Because at the end, you start to pay for it if you don't know how to. There are ways people go around it though, but yeah, if you don't know how to, if you don't want to go that way, you might have to pay for it later on. Okay, so opening the Photoshop page, we're going to have to create a new page. Now I already have a new page open, but I'm going to show us how to do it. Then you can see there are different, well, I say buttons or keys that we can touch or to press to have that has um, different tools or different things that they do. So to create a new page, you just go to new, create new, then it opens. Then there's where you select this type of the size of documents depending on what you want to create. There are different types of. If you want to create something with an A4 sheet, you select where you get an A4. Like if you check print, there are different. You have your A4, A5, A6, A3, different sizes here already fixed. Then if you want to customize your own size, like for social media posts or for social posts, I usually use 1200 width by 1200 height. That's what I usually use for. Basically, that's why you can see that it's automatically set on 1200 to 1200, and my resolution is 300. For social media posts, and I always for you to start posting on different files, you can select your background color. My usual color is white, which I recommend for every other person. So basically, once you want to create the new item, whatever you want to work on, you select the size you want to use, select whether you want it in pixels or in inches or in centimeters, millimeters, or however you want to do it. Then you either want it um, in horizontal or in vertical, whatever orientation you want to. That's in landscape or horizontally, however you want it to be. Now I already have it set to horizontal, and I already have a page created with this dimension. So I'm not going to click create. I'm just going to close this. But if you are also using Photoshop with me now, you can try that now, or just showing you how you can do it later. And then if you go through Photoshop, you see this area where my mouse is. Those are where your functions are, as what the different tools you need while creating any design. They have different functions here, and they are vast. Each function might has a different category, and what you can do with this, you might be able to do it with another function, but it end up giving you a different effect. So there are different uh, guidelines, the different things to know about the functions, which is, we'll not be able to go through all of that now, but I'm just going to show us how to use basic functions, and you can research on that later on your own time and just learn, because the more you use it, the more you understand it. Now, as I'm talking now, I might just be hearing gibberish. I'm not really understanding what I'm saying. But the more you familiarize yourself with the app, the more you just try to play with the app, move around on the app. You cannot press spoil on the app, so nobody should feel like you're going to do something that will damage it. Just move around, try one or two things. If you feel like you've done something you can't reverse, you close the app, you start it up again. Just keep moving around, do research online. You definitely find things to do. You can just type it in Google if perhaps you want to find out something about how to use one of the tools on the application. Now, this is the first tool here. Is the direction tool that helps you select. I don't have any tools here. Okay, it helps me select and move because it's my background now. I'm selecting and moving around with it. That's the move tool. And this is also, this right here is the selection tool. You want to select a particular area. That's what it does. It selects for you. This is the selection tool. And I'm just going to deselect that now. This is also a lasso tool. Helps you to select it. It's also like a selection tool as well, but it has a different effect. Might not need that now. It's like when you go further into design, because photographers also use this app to edit pictures and do all sorts of picture effects. There you can see someone standing on water. You can see someone flying, and somebody's coming out from under. Looks like he's coming out from the ground. Is some of all those tools that they use and adding different images together, making it look like one. Some of all these cutout tools, like this is also a quick selection tool. You can use it to cut out a particular area. This is the crop tool. I believe any of us that uses an Android or a smartphone knows what it means to crop an image, reduce the size, crop out a particular section of the image. This is the crop tool. I'm just going to keep moving down quick so we get through all the tools. This is the eyedropper tool. And this is the brush tool, healing brush to different brushes for different, as I said, it has different functions. And I don't want to overload you with all this information now because you just get lost with it. I start telling you each of the functions, but it's something it's not difficult to find out. If it's something you really want to find out about, you can always do a research on it. You can always search YouTube, Google, you might see blogs, articles about it. This is the eraser tool. This is for erasing whenever you want to erase a particular area. You might end up using this tool today. See, this is the gradient tool. Explaining what gradient is, that's another topic itself. So this is the gradient tool. This is the eyedropper tool, the text tool, the custom shape. This is something I even want us to learn first. Basically, I think this one is that the custom shape tool and the text tool. I want us to learn those ones. You'll be able to use how. So the custom shape tool helps you pick out different shapes from your whatever shape you want to create. You can see rectangle, rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygon, line. There also, you can click custom shape and then you come up here to select different shapes because Photoshop already has different types of shape you want to create. Like, I believe I still say, can everybody still see my screen? I know I'm still communicating.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes, you can see your screen.
All right, okay. So this is a bone. There are different shapes here. You just pick up any shape and here and you pick it to do whatever. Like this fish, you just pick it and draw out a fish like that. Can you see? Draw out what looks like a fish. I've removed that now. So then there's the arrow. So if you want to draw out an arrow, just use it to pick that. There are different tools, and if you end up getting a newer version, the 2017 version, all these things might be updated. You might see more shapes here, more tools for you to use, more shapes and more tools for you to use for your different designs. It's like this is a snowflake, showing different things you could do. You want only add leaves. Basically different shapes. You just go through them, different shapes, just play with it, move it around, do all sorts of things with it. You play around, then it gets you different shapes and all of that. But if you're now looking at how to use it to create, like, let's say you have a specific design in mind you want to work on. Let's assume you want to create a design for, let's say you have a catering business. Oh yes, let's just say a catering business, and you want to quickly do a design for yourself, or so perhaps you're working for someone and they want to do a catering poster on social media. What would you do? Uh, what will you put out for the person to see? So when it comes to catering, you know it's food. Okay, we cater for food. We have you immediately think of what kind of food the person needs, and that's why as a designer you're always going to be doing different types of research. So if, let's say, I want to do a design now for a catering service, the first thing I want to get is, if I'm doing it for someone that already has branding and already has brand colors and all of that, I'll ask them for all those information, try to look at their brand, previous designs they've worked on before, see how I can relate whatever I'm doing to something they've done before, so it doesn't order look different. Unless they be doing something completely wrong in the past, then I'll try to show them this is completely wrong. You shouldn't do this. Then change it to this particular way. But if you just want to create something from scratch, let's say for yourself, the first thing I'll say is, apart from your colors, is images of food. If you want to advertise yourself as someone that sells food, that provides catering services, you should look for images of food. Where do I get them? If you have, perhaps you have images of food, you can take pictures by yourself. Yes, or you could also search Google. That's one place you could go to search for food images. I want to share my Chrome screen now so that we can just go and then check for images of different food items and see how we can use them. Okay, so let's just take food pictures. Yeah. So immediately Google Images just brings out different food pictures for you to see. And then you look around. If it's something you know that you sell, or perhaps you're not seeing something you sell with, maybe this search option isn't clear enough. What I'm saying, yeah, foreign foods. Okay, you just look. Let's get African food pictures or Nigerian food pictures. Try to make your search as specific as possible. And then you see different pictures, images of different things like a Nigerian would eat, and you look for what you think you can use to advertise. If perhaps it's food for an office, you try to get foods that people don't solve their hands with, or you can eat with food like rice, plantain, beans, all those things. Perhaps like lunch, and just let me see which image we should use. I'm trying to show us the different search process so that I didn't just want to just pop out image. I could have just downloaded an image previously and put it up for us to use, but I wanted us to know just feel the process, what it goes through, because it's everything. The design first starts in your head before it comes into life. You need to first start to picture it in your mind, and you look for different food images. There are also websites where you could get pictures of food from, get different types of pictures from. Apart from Google, there are different websites for that. Some of them you pay, most of them you pay for when you want to start doing. If you are doing it as a designer, you pay for like monthly subscription. Could be like $10, $8, $5. Most of them are usually, they are foreign sites. That's why I'm saying dollars. So you pay some of them don't like, or you could just use Google. Google is still very effective. I also tell you one other website that it's actually free. You can search for images there, but over time you will discover that you might need something else. So let me just get this image. Okay, let me take this. I'm going to just save it. Just going to save this image, then this looks like a good image. So I'm saving all of these images. There's something else. I don't have any rice here. All right, and I think I've downloaded enough images that we can use. So next, we now want to input those images on our design and see how it will look like. So now back to the Photoshop app. Right now, back to the Photoshop app. I'm going to add my images. Now to add my images, I'll go to File as well here, and I'll go to Place Embedded or Place Linked. Now I could have opened the image. I could have gone to open the image, but when I do that, it will open on a new tab on Photoshop, and I don't have to start resizing and dragging it. But to place an image on the design you're currently working on, just place embedded, so it will automatically link you to your download or wherever you saved your files. You click on the image you want to input, and you place it. It automatically just loads and pops up. That's the first image that is showing now. So just reduce the size. Now if I want to put in the next image, the same process. Just reduce this. For the third image. Now, there's another side of Photoshop I want you to notice apart from here. If you look at this side where my mouse is now, this has to do with your layers, the different layers. Because if you notice, this image is under this image. As the image of your fried rice is under the image of the fried rice, and that's because of the layer positioning. And that's going to help you when you are trying to place different items on your design, to know how to lay them on the layers. Because this area is where your layers will appear. So if I want to change what image is on top, I could just change the location of the picture and see it automatically change. That's the layer placement on the different sides of different things you're working on. So just change them, put them different places. But I want to put them side by side. you see this now. I could even also use the eraser tool for this image. Let me see how we can use the eraser tool for this image. You can see now it's a square image that has white surroundings around it. And let's say I only want only the glass, only the plate with the soup. I could just use my eraser on it. Now, depending on my level of tolerance, it just automatically go away, move out. Now I don't like the way it's appearing now, so I'm going to undo it, then adjust my tolerance. Yes, see where my arrow is. I just say I'll take it. Now it's on 32. Maybe I just take it to 25, and then try it again. I still don't like how it looks. Undo it. Now to undo, I'm pressing Ctrl Z. Perhaps you're wondering what I'm doing that's making everything just disappear. Go back. I'm using Ctrl Z. That's a shortcut. But if you don't want to use your shortcut, you could come here to your history and then move back. Just move up or move it back to where you can see now. I took it back to where it was before. You know, I moved it up. But if I don't want to do that, I can always just come back here to undo or redo what you've done before on this history tab. Go back, see where I came to up here. Now there are so many things to do, but if I start telling you everything, you get bombarded. Even me myself, I've been doing design for a while now, and I'm still learning every day. So we just keep trying to learn. Let me change this to 15. Well, it's getting better, but it's not where I want it to be at. If you're not noticing why I'm saying I don't like how it looks, there's a part of the plate that is fading off here. That's why I'm trying to readjust the effect that's coming out. There's a part of the plate here that is fading off, and I don't like that. So I'm undoing it. Yes. I'm going to undo it. I've undone it, so I'm just going to adjust the size again and take it further. Okay, I think it's better now. I'm going to move it to see the difference because I didn't see any fade out. Okay, there's still some background left, so I could just go back, use this. By the way, this eraser that I'm using is magic eraser. So what it does, it automatically selects if you click on a particular color on your image, it automatically selects things that are similar to it in that image. That's why it's called magic eraser. That other types, there's the background eraser, there's also the general eraser too. But I'm using magic eraser now, and I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for everybody to get this. That isn't showing well. I don't like that outlook. Since I don't like what this is giving me, it's another opportunity to use another eraser tool. I don't like what it's giving me, and I'll be trying to resize it. So what I can do here is add a layer mask to it and try to erase this section. See where my mouse is, because I want only the plates to show. I'll try to erase this section from the image. Just trying to erase the section. So I'll just go, and since I've clicked on it so I click a layer mask. This is another area for adding effects. This is another area for adding effects to your different items on your layer. In the layer section. So this is for adding layer mask. So I'm going to add a layer mask. Then I'm going to use my eraser tool. Let me just reduce the size. Still too big. All right. I'm just going to use the eraser to get this thing off. Just casually and gently clean it off. I think I'm okay with how the image looks now. I'll just take a better look around it and see. Okay, so it's just the plate of the food now that's here. on that image, and I can just fix it here. Now, I don't know if anybody here is also using Photoshop with me, but if you notice when you opened your page, you didn't have these lines here. If there's someone you didn't have all those lines, this is something I added to my image. I brought out the rule section of Photoshop using Control R. I use Control R, that area has disappeared. I press Control R, it appears back. Then I find it does image. That is areas of the image where you don't allow anything come out of it, preferably text. And when we go to, I'm going to start writing something on this. So why there's a need for the border is so that anything I'm writing in text comes within this line. Now, these images can come out of it because the image not text, but text has a way of making designs look scattered if they're not well aligned, they're not properly. That's why I have rules out there, lines out there to help me put my images into perspective, to keep them in a specific space of the image. If it's not this whole area that I put, like here I left 5 meters, 0.5 meters away on each end. If you check it, I put 0.5 meters on each end of. So now if to go to using text, now I've put my images here. What kind of text? What text am I putting out? Because I say it's for a catering service. So what is my caption for the catering service? What am I putting out there? Because this is, I can see different, all these foods here now. I think they can serve as lunch. Each of them here can serve as lunch. So I can put for we cater for your lunch. We cater for events. So something captivating that doesn't have always have to be short, but preferably short, that your whoever you're putting your image out for will easily see. So like I just put we cater for lunch. Lunch is okay. We cater for lunch, or yeah, we cater for lunch. So I just go to now this section, this function that has the T shape, as for text. Then now this has its own set of rules when writing text. If you look up here, there are different ways where your margin can be. Anybody that's conversant with using Microsoft or typing on the system should know margin placements from the middle, from one end or the other end of the image or the design, however you want to call it. So I'm placing mine in the middle here, so the center text. So I just click on it, and then I'm ready to type in. Now it's showing a long arrow. This wider. If I want to adjust, I said something about fonts before. I know we didn't go deep into it, but it's also something that's uh, quite important. Fonts. I'm doing a design for a catering service. What type of font do I want to use? How do I want my text to look? Now it's not all that official. Like it's not all that it's not an office set, it's not all official. So I won't use your basic Arial text for writing letters or something like that. But I don't want it to also look playful, too childish, or look unserious at the same time. So I'm trying to find a balance between looking fine, looking like a fine font that is, and looking not all that official, like a mix of it. Now my go-to font for this kind of things is usually Times New Roman. This area is where you see all the fonts that you have on your system now. And getting fonts is also pretty easy as well. On Google, you can just type whatever. If you the more you continue in designing, you get to know about different fonts, new fonts. So you could just go through Google, type your font, to bring out different websites. There are different websites. If you want to write this down, now there are fonts where you could get font. There's one over fonts. I think there's Google fonts as well. So you could just type the font name and download it from those websites or download it directly from Google, depending on what font you are looking for. Now, the font you see here on my screen, I might look different if you're using Photoshop with me. Might look different from yours because you won't. I don't know if you have some of the fonts I have here, because over time I've been adding fonts, different fonts to my system. That's why they're different. So it might look different. That's not a crime or bad. Just add whatever font you want to use. And then I say, let me go for Times New Roman. Just type it in. And I click on bold. We can decide to use something else. I chose Times New Roman because it has a way of looking official, but still looking edgy, or looking, what's the word to use now? Let's just say it's a beautiful font. I'm trying to not get technical with the terms. So I will check my font size, whatever size I want it to be. Now, looking, this long line you're seeing here now will tell you that the font is really large. So if I type anything, it comes out really large. I just reduce it. I said the text we will take in is we cater for lunch. I just say
Hello, Evans. Please, I just want to know if others are following with what you are doing. I don't know if, because I've been following, trying to capture the kind of font you're using and how you are placing those pictures one after the other. So I don't know if others are actually following through, even if they don't have a laptop following you the way you are doing it. But I don't know if they're actually following through to understand what you're. Please, do we have? Please, are we still there? As in our members, the watch people ladies.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
following.
Okay. All right.
are we understanding what I'm saying? So far, do we have any questions so I don't go too far and you don't understand what I'm doing? Any questions so far?
Whether
Understand.
yes, yes, sir. Hello, sir. Can I go ahead, sir?
Okay, I should go ahead. All right. Okay.
Okay. My question is,
Okay.
can we have a background color to this design instead of white
Yes.
like this?
Yes, you can. If you see, when I was trying to create the image, I said there was a part. Let me just go back. Let me just quickly show you that now. To open a new image, I'm working on something now. Okay, let's close this. When you also open a new image, the document pops out. Now, see, my background is set on white. You can change the color. You can change the background color. Now, if it's showing white and black here now, but if you want to change it to something completely different, let me just show you that now. There's a function called color overlay. So I'm just this now. I'm clicked on. I'm going back to the layers out, the place where I told the layers are. Now the item that is listed down there is layer O, which is also serves as the background. You see here, that's the background that is white here. So to change the color, I could just do a color overlay on it.
Bring it out, man.
And we see that the color has already changed. Can you see that the color has changed? Are you with me?
I said I'm money when you carry one deposit. I said the thing don't enter.
Are you still with me? The person that asked the question.
Yes.
You can see
I
that
see the colors.
the color has changed. But I just prefer it white. Okay, so if you want to change your color, do it however you feel. You can change the color. So yes, it's possible to change the color. So I'm moving that effect now. So I was talking about text, like putting in our text. Just go back here. Select the font. The Times New Roman. There's so many other fonts you could use. If you actually don't like Times New Roman, if you really don't like how it looks, you can use something else. But just make sure you're using something that's appealing to your viewer or whoever you're putting out your image for. If it's not visible, then the whole point of the design has been defeated. Because unless peradventure I go and decide to use a font that is very cursive for this, let's go down and look for a font that is very cursive. Unless this is Edward Script is a very cursive font. If I decide to use it, I'm writing with Cater, but it's not visible, so it's not something I want to use. Now there are some designs where this font will be ideal for it, but in this situation it's not, so I'm not going to use it. I say you can always use different fonts. There's no particular rule on they say you must use this particular font, but you use a particular font. Cater for, let me just take this. Now, also, you can also mix fonts, add character. Like I used with Cater here, I could decide to use a different font for this aspect. So I'm selecting it. Just use my mouse to select and move on it. If I don't want to use my mouse, there's also another function. You can use the Shift key on your keyboard. You shift and you move your arrow button and just moves. Select it. Then I look for another font I want to use. There's another font I want to use. Let's see. I could use Algerian. Let's say we Cater for the launch. Let's see what that looks like. So let's say we Cater for launch. Now it's black and white here. You can decide to add your colors to it. Now I've written we Cater for launch. Perhaps I want to go and work on something else on my design. I come back to this move tool. I think this is the first one I showed. My move tool, and it automatically selects this. But I can perhaps I want to work on this image. I come and select on it. Work on this image. I come and select on it. Then, if I now want to go back to this text, I don't have to go all the way back to text tool.
Go back.
To start editing on it. I could just go to my layers here and click on it. Click on the text here, and I'm back on it to edit it. Which, as I say, this layer is like your function area, where you see whatever you're doing. You be able to edit it from this area here. So I come back and let's say I want to change the colors from black to something else. What color? What other color can I don't know if anybody can give me a color idea. Like we're talking about food. What color do you think would go with a catering service? Anyone can give me an idea. Hi everybody. Anybody can give me an idea. I just want to know if you understand color emotions. Like it's black and white showing here. I want to use a color that best interprets food. What color should I use?
Okay.
Green and yellow and orange are good for food.
Green, yellow, and orange. Okay, green. Let's see. This is nature. Yellow is cheerful, energetic here. Orange, yeah, hot. Let me specify something like hot food. Yeah, but you can also say red as well. Red is common. If you check most restaurants now, there's always an element of red. So it just
Red,
think of Mr. Biggs, KFC, Domino's, whatsoever. There's always an element of red to their branding or their image, because red is usually associated with food.
Red. What's the color come out when?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Somebody said something.
I said, what about blue color?
Blue? Blue, yes, but
Yeah.
it also depends
No.
on the shade of the blue. You can't use.
Yes.
It depends on the
Red.
shade of
So
the blue,
what
The
not
dark
exactly.
blue will
like
not go.
Red,
Maybe
red
like
Not
and
light.
orange
necessarily.
color of the food to come out. It helps the color of the food to come out well. Very bright.
Okay, there are different explanations, but it's just what people. Why I say color emotions, just what people would easily relate to. Like once they see it, their head instantly, their brains don't need to calculate or don't need to think too long to understand
stimulating?
what you are
Blue
saying
is not
to
for
relate
food
to it.
safe. Maybe hospital
So
whites and blue, and that's
yeah, yeah,
for
that's it for
hospital.
trust, security, peaceful, that kind of thing. Blue, not necessarily not for food, but yeah, some people we might see if it and a business where there's food like Domino's has blue on it, but there's the way they, but you can still see red is the way they implemented the blue, so you can still use it, but it's not generally used. It's not. When you come to when you try to start getting creative or want to imply um, different designs to your these rules are there to help, but they're not fixed rules. They're not, let's say you cannot use blue for food at all, but it's not generally used, but it can still be used if you know how to use it. It's, if that makes
Okay.
sense to you. All right, so back to our text. I said which color. So you said orange, yellow, green, red. So yeah, all agree that we see red everywhere when it comes to food, eateries. Most of all the eateries, if you think of all the eateries, you usually see orange, red. If you think of most of all the it's majorly red. You can see red and some other color. You can see red and yellow. You can see red and orange. You can see red and white. You see even blue. You still see red with the blue. So red is a common color. So I'll just let's say red. What shade of red am I going for? Now,
Pepper red.
okay. I think this is red enough. Okay. Okay. Now, if I want to add another color to it, because I said, like I said before, since they are different. If you notice that I use two different fonts. I use Times New Roman. For lunch, I use Algerian. We can also change the colors as well. It doesn't have to be the same thing. Let's say since we said green can also go for food. Let's try green. What shade of green are we going for? So I'm looking for a dark green to complement the red. If you're designing for a brand or someone that already has their design colors, it's usually easier for you because you don't have to start thinking about it because you can go ahead and think of colors to use now, and whoever you're designing for will tell you they don't like the color you're using, which is a very normal thing. And you just be like, and you have to start your design all over again. That's if there's anybody here that is trying to, am I still, we're still together, right? I was saying, are we still together? I think the network, it got
Yes.
disconnected. All right, okay. So I was saying that while creating the design and you're working on you use different colors and your whoever you're working on design for doesn't like the colors as a design, that's like the business aspect of designing now. That's something you should expect as a designer, that no matter how good you think you are or how confident you feel your design is, not everybody will like it. Not everybody will be able to relate to it. So for you, what you should do is that your client or your customer is knows best in this situation. So if you use a color that you feel works best for the brand and you use it for your client and they don't like it, Now you can try to explain why you use that color or how that color represents that. Like now we can say that red, because red goes with food. Green also green is nature, and you have nature of African food in the image here. So we say red, we use green, or if perhaps you want to use orange. Why I'm not using orange in this image, because my background is white. If I were to use orange, it will highlight it, it will kind of fade out. So I'm using colors that are darker so that they pop out. So that we just understand. That's why I'm using green and I said red, so that they easily pop out. They are colors that on a light background they will still be seen visibly. And I was saying if working on a design for a client, that you should know that client is always knows best. No matter how good you think you are or how confident you feel you are, you could work on something and in the end your client doesn't like it. You know that you just do whatever they want. Yes, you can advise them and go through the guidelines, and they will still tell you they don't want it, they don't like it, and you just have to do it because that's the job. So if you feel like uh, your creativity is being affected by the client, that's the job. If you want to work on something for yourself, then you do it how you want. That's why I'm just trying to tell us different things that could pop up while doing designs for people or working as a graphic designer. So I'm leaving this as we cater green and for launch red. Now as look we cater obviously we cater for launch. Then and there are images of food there. So what other information do I need to add to this design? Whatever kind of information do you think I should add? Anybody have any
The
idea?
name of the catering service.
All right, very good. Thank you. That's the name. Now, the name of the catering service. Now, if the catering service had a branded name, it works easy for you because you just input their logo, put their name, then use their colors for your design. Now, perhaps you're just doing something for something that doesn't have a brand yet. How would you put in the name? Do you go ahead to create a logo? Creating a logo is a different ball game entirely on its own. So you could just there are different approaches to it. I'm saying now I'm just trying to say this designer we're doing something for, or let's just say a startup, somebody that's starting up doesn't have a logo yet. How would I implement that design? Okay, I could just look for the person's name, put it on a shape. And this is for starters. This is just uh, for somebody that doesn't have branding yet. And I'm not trying to get into the design, try to confuse anybody now. So I do be cater for launch. Then I want to add the name of the business. What name can we use? First things first, I'll create a section for the design. I can add a shape because logos usually or names usually come top of the design. They could come at the left corner, it could come at the right corner, it could come at the center, usually. But there are times where you see logo comes down here, it could vary, but the usual place is usually on the top. Over time you could mix it up when you're trying to do the design different ways, or you could mix it up, but basically it usually comes at the top. So I'm going to try to just put the catering name. Can somebody give me an idea of a catering service I could just use just to communicate? Anybody? Nobody? Let me look for somebody's name here. Somebody's name. Okay, the last name I'm seeing here is Ogie. Ogie George. So let's use Ogie's Kitchen.
Ogie's food. Okay.
Ogie's Kitchen, Ogie's Food, yes. So I could create a shape or write the text. Let's write the text first. Ogie's Kitchen. Now, do we want to use this font or do we want to change it? I'm asking you because because it could vary. So what do you guys think?
Please let's change it so that I could see the way. I think I missed out in that area. Let's change it so we can go over it and get it well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Changing the font. See where I came to. Let me go back. I came to this area, this section here, and I click this to change your font. So I have a list of fonts here. So I'm just going to look around now. But using fonts,
Would
you
you
don't have to use.
highlight?
Yes, you highlight it, but I'm just trying to show you highlight it. I don't want to use too many fonts on the image because then it gets scattered. Other than that, you need to be uniform, yes, in your image. So if I want to change this font, I would either I keep using Times New Roman, or I'll change it back to Algerian. That's another font that I've used on this design. I don't want to use too many fonts, so I look uniform. I look okay. Yeah. So we could change it to Algerian here. Oge's Kitchen. Now, to move it, so I can move it here. I can put, if it was a logo, I could keep it here. I could keep it here. Now, you see why I said I put my lines before. I don't want my text to go outside here or come up here. So it's within this area. So I'm putting it, either I keep it here, but I think it's better in the middle. It looks better there. For this purpose, I centralize it, my arrows in the middle. I can change the color as well. We could change the color. We could use red, green. So I'm coming here, selecting on it. Let's try different colors. Let's make Oge one color, kitchen another color. So now I already have two color shades I'm using here. If I start going to green and trying to find the color shade I used before, that might take a while. And I want us to also notice while in this color section, there's this code number here. We call it color code. Now, if you're working on a brand, sometimes it's best. This is one of the things you ask them what their color code is, because you can look at a green now and you see it like you see green and it looks like it looks a particular way now. Like this green, what I have here, this green is different. The green I have on Oge's Kitchen, on Oge's here, is different from the green at Wiketa. You can see it's different. So it's best to have the color code of the design. Now, but if I don't have the color code, but I've already used it in the previous design, what I'll just do is to select hit on the color and it automatically changes to the same color. So it's in uniform. I select OK, or if I want to use it as red, I select the red I used here. So it's the same thing. It appears here as OK. And if I want to and I select kitchen, same process, make it green. Oge's Kitchen. Now we've added title. What other information? What other thing? Because I'm looking at it now. Oge's Kitchen. We cater for lunch. Food images here. What other information do you think a design? Okay, this is going to someone's WhatsApp status.
The location of the kitchen, of Oge's Kitchen.
The location. Okay, but yes, the location. Any other thing that we feel we could add?
Probably phone contact.
Yes.
Address, like
contact, like the social media handle,
emails, all that.
email, all those things.
Facebook.
just take different. There are different things to add to the image. So those are the key things because okay, Ogie's Kitchen we cater for lunch. What does that mean? They provide lunch for people. Lunch for people. Where do you provide lunch for people? At their businesses or at their homes, wherever they are. So that means Ogie's Kitchen should have a delivery service if you are catering for lunch or your restaurant, or does it mean your restaurant only serves lunch? So if you come to your restaurant in the morning, are we not going to get a meal? If you come in,
Breakfast.
are are we not going to get dinner? So it's what you're putting out as your information, it matters. So okay, Ogie's Kitchen will be cater for lunch. So I wanted it to say it's a delivery service. It's somewhere, perhaps it's somewhere that I'm saying. Why I'm saying it's start. Perhaps it's somewhere that cooks in her house. Ogie is somewhere that cooks in her house, and then she wants to run a business where she caters for lunch at people's offices. So she said Ogie's Kitchen we cater for lunch. So she knows that she wants to partner with people in their offices to have a system where she delivers to them at their office or their shops, wherever they are in the afternoon. So what she's advertising is lunch. So basically, what she should be putting on her image is how she does her delivery or her delivery info, how to get contact her and get delivery information from her. Now for
But I guess
delivery,
this isn't complete yet. She has to put her maybe her details, phone number,
yes,
address, or
yes,
wherever.
yes. But you should also know that this is going on a social media platform. So if you're seeing, this is not something that's going to be printed out as a card or a paper. So there's some information that are not necessary, but you can add them as well. So either says okay is putting this on her status now. So it's only her contacts, people that already know her, that are seeing it. So it might not be necessary, but if it's for to be for something you're putting out that you want to perhaps you want to use this as a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad, all those informations would be important to add. I'm just trying to get those different scenarios for different outcomes on design.
I can't hear anything, sir.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know who is not hearing you.
Oh, okay. Okay, so back to what I was saying earlier.
So what you're saying now is those details you're talking about. That it's not it depends on the kind of platform one wants to post the information or the adverts on. That's when you
Yeah.
determine those necessary information, maybe social media, phone number, and every other thing.
Yes, but you could also put that if you want to. It varies, but I feel like for this kind of thing, it's not all that necessary. It's not all that necessary for this. But yes, you could put location, you put phone number, or um, your Instagram, just have them all aligned and placed on the.
What about putting a logo? Maybe putting a logo design maybe for your business. You have a logo.
Yes, if you have a logo, that's I'm trying to use this Ogie's Kitchen to. It's not a logo, but to imply a logo. This Ogie's Kitchen here now, we could move it to different. If you were to put your logo on the design, you put it. I said it could come on the. Usually comes on the top area of the design. So you could that come to the right. Unless
Does it be a particular place? Must it be on the top right or on the top left?
it
Because some
doesn't
might
have
look into that.
it doesn't it doesn't have to be, but that's just the common place because that's the first thing people whenever people are reading anything they move from up down. I don't know if there are
Down.
human beings that start reading from down up. I don't know if
So
that's normal,
that's
but
where Sandra is
that's
going.
how
So you
that's the
read from
people
the
read.
top.
You read from the top down, but there are also images where you see the logo comes down. So it depends on what you're trying to. If you're already an established brand, it's not necessary you have
Okay.
your logo on the top because there are some things like if I were to see a post from GT Bank, I would know instantly that it's GT Bank without even looking for where the logo is. And the logo could be just be down at the corner here, and other information will be there because I know that that's already an established brand. I know what they look like. If it was First Bank or Mr. Big's brand or something else that if you're an established brand, it's not all that necessary to have it on this row. They put it up here, left, right, blah, blah, blah. It's not necessary, depending on what information you are putting out. But for a startup, somebody that it's kind of important that up here, where people can see the first thing they are seeing is Oge's kitchen, so they know that yes, this is Oge's kitchen for now, because you don't have a brand identity yet. Are we clear?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you can go ahead then.
All right. So I'm trying to look for a way to, because this design is looking just white and green. It's looking plain. Let's look for a way to spice it up. So let's add other effect. I don't want now if there are
Sorry,
other things you
before
could
you
add.
continue, I guess I was asking a question concerning the background. That can we just leave the background like that, or can we bring in something
Yeah,
on the
I think
background?
yeah, I answered. The person was talking about color. I said you could change the color. You could also get a texture for the background. Now there are sites,
Okay.
there are websites. You could create your own texture if you have time to create a texture for yourself, which is a long process. Most designers that I know usually download textures. Even me myself, I go online, I search for textures. They just download it and use it. But if you creating a texture, if I want to turn this white background into a texture, I could just create some shapes on it and fade it out, and it will be some kind of texture. But textures varies. There, I was saying I was going to show. Perhaps we should go. Maybe we should check the site now where we can see some of all those things. I said we'll check a website.
Does it mean we
Yes.
can't get a background from the Photoshop app itself? Must we go to download the background?
Not necessarily. Unless you want to use one of the shapes as a background texture, we could try that. Let's see. You could decide to use one of the shapes as a background texture,
Okay.
like this. Now, let's see. Now, see something else I was saying about your layouts here. I put this shape, this custom shape now, and has come on top of every other thing. So if I were to
Yeah.
change the location, I'd move it down and just place it above the layer, so it comes under everything. Now it's under everything, but it's not too. It feels like it's taking over the entire image.
Yes.
So what I can do to make it feel more like a texture and less like something that's taking over, I could just fade it out, my opacity. So it's like, are we saying?
Okay.
So
Right.
now it looks like a texture. It looks like a background. Now it's not all plain white background now, but it's still a white background, but with some added features to it.
I guess it's better. How about
Yeah.
others? How will you see this cars
How would
than
they?
the other plain white background? Because I'm asking of other ladies if this kind of background is maybe it's bringing out something better than the way it was just all plain white. Then
I'm seeing only we cater for lunch. Oh. I've not seen the okay kitchen design that they are doing.
it's there now.
You can't
Oge's
you
kitchen
can't
is
see
there. It's
Oge's
all
kitchen
written
here.
all over it.
I can't
Just
see it.
written, not.
Uh-uh.
I think you need to
It's
adjust your
there.
screen
And
or
praise,
something.
bring it down. Adjust your phone or your system.
Uh, I mean, I'm seeing everything you're doing.
Maybe
Maybe
that you
because I'm
joined a
using a
meeting
small
and it's being
device.
recorded.
I'll
I'm
check
also
it
using a small
later.
device and I can see it.
Are we still there?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm trying to get something.
I think if you're using a phone, maybe try rotating the screen. Maybe put it on landscape or
Yes, it's on
portrait.
landscape already. I did it
So
portrait.
give it.
It's not working for me.
You should
Let me
see it.
see. I will try it later. Let me not disturb anybody.
All right, okay, let's go further. Have you any other questions before I continue? Huh?
For me, no. I don't know for that. Maybe you can go ahead for now.
Okay. I said we could add. I think I should be talking about contact information before, something like that. Where we could add our contact information. So perhaps we put. I want to see another if we have a tool that can add. We can use to add contact info like a call to a call shape or like. I was saying that there are sites where you could get some of all these things and they come in the better looking versions. Okay, so this is a call shape here. So I could just add this down here. It's showing in green. You can change it to one of the colors we've chosen for the design, either red or green. Let's see which one will look better. So see it on red, see it on green as well. So which color do you guys think is better? Do you hear me? I think I was saying which color. I put it on red. I put it on green. Which color do you think appeals to the design better? Are we still there?
Which one are you putting on the red? Is it the background
Look,
or
look at
which
the
one?
call. This call shape I drew out here.
Okay.
So I'm trying to
I
say,
guess on
is it
green is better.
green is better, right? Yes, green is better.
Yeah.
So we leave it on green.
And it keeps going.
And then we can add the phone number. So now for a phone number, I don't want to use Ordurian font. Let's write a phone number 080 999 555 07. We can, so using a phone number, we could leave it like this, but I personally don't like it like this. Doesn't mean you shouldn't like it like this, or someone else can like it like this. I want to change it to something simple, something straightforward. So I'm going to use one of the simple fonts I have here, like Anton. And reduce the size a bit. Now, I was saying we could add something else, like a design style to the image. We could do something else, just add some other kind of effect. Let me just see. We could add maybe a rectangle shape. We could use rectangle to form something else. Let's see.
So, please, hello, sir.
Yes.
To take you back, I just missed. I want to be sure where you got that bit from. That background bit, like something.
Why you
This.
can my buttons?
Those
Okay, I said we could.
lines.
These lines here,
Let me know what
you can find it in
Grid. That
shape.
looks like grid.
Okay, I said you can find that in shapes. In this shape function, you come down to your custom shape, and then you just take
Okay.
the list of shapes here. There are a lot of shapes here that you could use. So I went down. I think I went to the very end. Let's see. Okay, yes, so this is it here. This is what I selected. It's the tile. Can you see it?
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Now we're working with rectangle. Let me just duplicate. I'm just trying to add different effects to the design. Just make it look somewhat different. Also, I see somewhat different. Add some other effects to it. Just it. Have you guys seen the effect? Does it look like an effect that needs to be there? Is it taken away from the image? What do you guys think? Because what I just did now was select my shape. I used selected rectangle and I just did 4 rectangles and tried to resize them in different ways to try to form an outline for try to put the focus, because my plan is to do this here and here to put focus on we cater for lunch. Does anybody understand what I'm trying to do? Now,
Yes, sir.
now I'm coming to my layers again. So I say this layers always. I want to turn everything here. Like I want to group all of them, make it one, so I don't have to. Because I want to create a duplicate of it here. So I could select this while holding my control key, holding the button control, and then I select 1, 2, 3, 4. I could group them. That's Control G, turn it into a group. Now everything is inside the folder. I could move all of them at once, or I could leave it like that. I could. There's also another way to do it. I could turn it into a vector smart object where it's not a group. Let me show you. So you right click, convert it to a smart object. So now it's just one image. I can put it here. I could, for me to take it to the other side, I just duplicate it, move it. I want to change its look. Are we still here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'm thinking of leaving the color like this. Do you think I should change the color? Because it doesn't affect, in my opinion, it's not affecting the branding. It's just placing emphasis on we cater for lunch. I want us to see the image now without lines. See what it looks like. Are we okay? Does it look like a sensible? Oh my god. Yeah. If there's anybody here that's doing catering some services, does this look like something you can put out for people to see? I'm not getting any response. Am I still talking to people? Everybody, am I
I
still
can't
talking with
even
people
see anything again, so there's nothing I can say now.
at all?
Well, I'm seeing.
I'm still seeing the screen, so maybe you just go out and come in again. That's what you just do. You go out, leave the train, and come in again. Maybe that's what's happening. If you've gone before, or maybe your network switch thing. Maybe you just go out and come in again. I wasn't hearing you before. I had to leave, then I joined back, and I was able to hear back. For those who are having issues of not hearing or not seeing the screen, maybe I guess you leave and join again. So with that, you'll be able to
Yes.
see what's being displayed on the screen. Okay, Evans, you asked the question. You're saying something.
I was saying, do we see this as an image? Like if you're running a startup now and you want to tell everybody that you cater for lunch, does this look like an image you can use?
Okay, yeah, it's simple and straightforward. Simple and straightforward. At least the information you need to pass across, it's been there. That's to cater for lunch. And once they see this, they know it's all about food, eating of
Yeah,
food and every other thing. So it's
straight.
simple and straightforward.
Okay, now there are so many different ways we could put out a design. I'm trying to make it as basically if you want to do a design, you could use a whole different background, a whole different outlook on everything entirely, and it will still be simple. It will still pass out the information, but it will look completely different. So there are different ways we could put out design. I was saying if we can go through. There's a website I wanted us to check on splash.com. That's where you could get pictures there for free. Let me just open that website so that we can all see it.
Sorry, you go over the okay. I wanted to say you should go over the website again on
On
splash.com.
Splash, UNSPLASH, on splash.com.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, so um, let's go to unsplash.com. So you can on this website you can search for different types of image. Like if I had to I said food items before, food pictures. I said for food pictures here before, so you can just see food images of food. Now this why I said this comes out in high resolution, comes out in better quality. But I didn't want us to come here in the first place because you won't see African dishes here because it's not an African site. But you could see pictures of images, pictures of foods you could use. You could set different things here to get your pictures. That's when you're working on design. If you want to get pictures, Yeah, so you can see different ladies wearing gowns in the pictures. So, so this is one site where you could get some of all these things. Now there's Adobe Stock, but some of well, this is the only one that is completely free. It doesn't
Okay, we
stop
can
people.
get pictures from here for free.
Yes, but there are also other side. There's Adobe Photo, Adobe Stock. There's free pick. They call it free pick, but free pick you still pay, but not all. Not for everything. Let's open free pick. I also use free pick.
Yeah. Touch it on. Okay.
So you could get different images of people doing different things from free pick. Also, so things where you could just download high quality pictures. But free pick, if you want to use all the most of all the other tools, you might need to be paying for a subscription. Like now, if you're using it for free, you get 10 free daily downloads per per day. That's what you just get 10 downloads per day. So if you're working a lot, you're doing a lot of designs, you will know that you will need to subscribe to get some of the premium pictures, premium effects. Like let's search for food background on free pick.
Please, please, can you just go over the website again? It says free what? Okay, free pick. I've seen it. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, see, I said for food background. Now, this is something we could add to that design. We could use any of these backgrounds for food, but it would affect your design, how your design looks. So if it's something you want to go for now, see this work delicious food. It's specific. You can see the way the food are. Okay, just one image of one food, the spaghetti.
Please, the line is breaking. Is it from my own side?
Breaking as in, is it the sound that is breaking?
Yes, the audio, him. I'm not hearing him at the point.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, okay. I was just showing on some websites that we could go to check for different designs, different pictures, and different design tools that you might need for your design. Now, to show us the designs we did before, there are different. I was saying there are different ways we could have arranged this design to look like different things we could have done, but in the end, what it's about is making your design visible, making it straightforward, understandable. People don't have to think and look at the image over and because the world now people are constantly scrolling. If you're looking through status, Instagram, wherever you're constantly scrolling. So each image, people have less than 5 seconds to look at your image and see if it's something they want to keep looking at or if they want to skip. So if you're doing a design for social media or for yes, basically social media, it's meant to be simple and straightforward. And I've showed us a few tools we could use, but on our own, if you have the Photoshop app, you go back and learn, just play around with it, try different things. You can edit pictures. Photographers use this app to edit pictures. I said that before. So if you use it to edit pictures, turn your pictures, you could make it you could do a design, you could place yourself in the White House with Photoshop. Yeah, tools like that so that you could crop yourself out of an image. Okay, maybe I don't think we still have we don't have time again. I said we should just download an image and crop do like a crop out. But those are things that we could do with Photoshop if you were to. I said you could use some of these tools here when moving. But what I want for people to just play with it, because if I'm telling you these things, you might not really understand it until you start actually doing it, or start going through it, start
Yeah.
trying it. You will not really get it
Applying it
until you start
also.
trying it, start applying it. Yeah. So if you just get back and start trying to do one or two things, doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to look a particular way. Just make sure that you're following the basic rules not to include too much colors. Try to color emotions, those little things that help guide that, like guidelines for you for your design. Just try to remember those things, and it's pretty. If you look at it, it's kind of easy. It's not so much work. Once you can think of a design in your head, putting it out is not that. It's not really difficult. It has to first start from the mind. That's basically what we need to just learn about. And if you want to go into design, you could go on Instagram and look at different kinds of designs. The best way to learn how to design is to look at other designs, because you just keep looking at people. Okay, I've seen this now. You can say, can you try and replicate this Oge's Kitchen social media flyer we just did now? Or you look online, look for different other things. Okay, can I do this? You try it. What effect? What tool did this person? You check out and you look for images. What tool did this person use to get to this point? So there are different things you could do to different things you could do to help your image. So just want us to just research it. That's basically what I have for us today. Any questions?
All right, thank you very much, Evan. You've really taken us through at least the basic and things we just need to understand about the Photoshop. I just feel for the ladies, I feel those who attended the previous Canva class, I would love to ask, which one would you prefer, using the Canva or using the Photoshop? For the ladies, please. For
The
those who attended the
canvas.
previous Canva class, you prefer the
The
Canvas to
canvas is
Photoshop?
simpler.
Actually,
Mm.
actually, canvas is easier, but it won't give you what you want.
Okay,
Photoshop goes extra mind. When
okay,
I once came across Photoshop during my history, actually they were using it to edit pictures. Then, though
that's
I
for
drop it
photographers.
along the line, but it's kind of vast. It can give you a whole lot of ideas and
Designer.
pictures and designs you feel like, unlike
Okay,
canvas.
okay, okay, okay. Evan, you're
Yes,
listening to them.
yes. I agree.
That's all who understand the basics. I'm sure the person who understand the basics of Photoshop, so it can actually depict which is actually fine. We know when it comes to Canva, you can use your phone anywhere you are, but for the Photoshop, you have to sit down with it, look into it one after the other. You know, for Canva, you can just bring in pictures. You have already made
Mm.
design already, or you can just
Mm.
literally
Yes,
words and every
yes.
other. You have
Yes.
ready design, but this one you have to design from the scratch. That's what it is. Even on Canva, you design from the scratch, but most people prefer, let me just bring in a design that is already there and just work.
Yeah.
But for Photoshop, I feel you have to start from the scratch. You have to understand the basic principles of even designing itself before you can go ahead to say you want to do. Photoshop is a bit complex though, but at least we've been able to learn something.
What?
We've been able to learn something
Blank
today.
voice now. How you asking me? Leave me alone. Close the door.
And our ladies, what with ladies, I'm sure we've been able to learn something today from the Photoshop training today.
Yes.
Okay, so do we have anyone who has any question before we close out for today? So we've tried since 1 p.m. This is almost 3 p.m. Does anyone still have any question to ask concerning what Evan has taught us today, or concerning what we've learned today? We don't have any question. It seems we've asked that question along the
I will
line.
just
Why?
go through the YouTube to go through
Okay,
it
that's
again
all.
because those black lines when he was designing them, I was off.
Okay,
That
you
was
were
why I was
not.
saying I couldn't see the screen. Yes.
Okay. Sure, we'll definitely put that on our YouTube channel. But it's a bit that we don't have much of our ladies who attended today's training. And if I want to do it, I might decide that it's only those who attended the training that will get the video. But we'll reconsider during our watch 15. So we'll decide what to do. But at least for those who attended the training, it's certain you get the link to our YouTube to actually watch the training for today, so you can actually do something. But
Okay,
that photo,
thank you very much.
Photoshop, we can't do it on our phone.
No.
But
Photoshop has
it
to be on.
doesn't look like something that they can do on phone.
Eh,
No, that's very.
eh, okay, so we need to get a laptop to work with it. I was even trying to install on my laptop. Maybe what kind of size? What's the size? It's not going coming on my laptop. My brother was telling me maybe the size maybe my laptop, the size of my laptop is too small for the app.
Okay, what's your laptop RAM?
It's a Toshiba.
No, not the name, the RAM. Do you know what the RAM is?
Like, is
Okay,
it
the
two
RAM, the
RAM,
RAM.
Is it 2
No,
gig
it's
RAM? Is it 4 gig?
2
4
Is
gig
it
gig,
8
RAM,
gig?
or
4 gig,
It's what?
4
4
gig,
gig?
4 gig RAM.
4 gig. It should be able
Yes.
to work. 4 gig, it should work.
It
If you
should.
go through that link, yes, it should work.
Okay, because
But the only
I
thing is
have so
that
many
it's
applications
a
I'm working with, Power
yes,
BI,
you have
Python, so I have
to
so many apps I'm working with. So I
you
don't
have
know,
to
maybe that's
yeah.
why.
That's why, yes, it's
Is it
won't since you're
possible?
using
Sorry, is it possible to use a pad too, apart from laptop?
n- no, it has to be on either on a Windows or iOS, Apple Mac
Yeah.
system.
Okay.
It doesn't
Okay,
Okay.
doesn't work on
okay,
Android or
Thank you.
iPhone.
Okay.
okay. All right.
So
Thank
yeah.
you very much, Evans. So, is there still anything any one of us would love to know or would love to hear from Evans before we close out for today? Our time is fast spent
You
by
just,
3 o'clock.
yeah, how did you minimize to get the full picture?
Like if you
Okay, you
check
can now see the
the
full picture now.
Yes, I've been seeing it. It's just
Yes.
that I
okay,
Yes.
didn't get when it
I thought you said you could not see the picture before.
wasn't me, someone else.
Okay, okay,
It's me, Grace, that couldn't see the picture, and I said I'll go to the YouTube to see it
okay,
from the beginning,
okay,
the start again. Yes.
okay.
How did you minimize it to see the full picture? That's what I'm saying. To show other grids, other spaces like that.
okay, I just zoomed out on the Photoshop. I just zoomed that I could zoom in back to make it look bigger. I just zoomed out so that
Oh,
everybody could see. So zooming out, zooming in.
okay,
But
okay, okay. Gotten. Thanks.
All right. Okay. Is there still anyone with any question before we?
Let me keep on. Let anybody carry.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your time, Evans. I'm sure we've gotten one or two things that we need to learn today. And my sincere appreciation goes to all the Watch Brief ladies at least who have been able to turn up to this afternoon to join us for another training. I'm sure spending this time is not a waste to us.
Yes,
No matter how we've taken our time, at least we
Yes.
might find it useful in one way
yes,
or the other. As you know, as watch people always prepare you for the skills ahead, the future skills, whether it is present, whether it is future. But these skills are things that people are using, going out there and using to make money. So if as a lady, if you feel you just need an additional income, why not upgrade yourself, upgrade the skills? No matter how little you've learned, go
yes,
ahead, learn more, learn better, learn ahead, which is actually going to help you. With this, you can start making money, little money from designs and every other thing. So I want to appreciate you for your time. I'm sure your time is not a waste. So a big appreciation. Thank you for joining today's session, as you have said. So concerning the video, this section definitely to be downloaded and the link will be shared to those who attended today's training, so we can actually go ahead to continue. So come next month, our leaders will be the ones to
Thank you
organize
very much.
particular training or whatever we want. What we're doing. So we'll be sending a form out concerning the watch preview because we realize that some of the trainings we want you to decide on the kind of training you want. So it doesn't mean as if you are the one bringing training to you. So we'll give you a list of training. We'll be sharing the form on the platform. We'll give you a list of training options. Just choose the one you think you find interest or you think you need to learn or you need to know. And once you get the turnout from, other ladies from everyone. They will be able to decide on which one to do and which one to come up with. So definitely everybody will be privileged to attend all trainings as long as they are regular. You're following up with information on the platform. So and you are available to creating time to attend. Training is free for everyone. So it is left to other women if you want to join and if you don't want to. So we just make everything available for everyone. So it's just left to us. The skills we need to acquire or we need to learn, whether now or the future. But it's just essential that we just help ourselves grow and acquire the skills. That's just the only way we can help ourselves. All these things we are learning is a means of making additional income for ourselves also. So I want to thank everyone for your time. Thank you for this afternoon. Thank you very, very much. On behalf of the Watch 15, I want to say have a wonderful weekend and a happy new month in advance. All right, have a wonderful evening, everyone.
See, someone is raising a hand,
Someone is
though.
raising hand.
Okay,
Yeah.
who is that?
Olale.
Olalaye Oluwabumi. Okay, okay, hello. Do you have anything to say? What do you want to say? Can you unmute yourself, please? Hello, Bumi.
I have nothing to say.
Eh? I thought you
I
wanted to
have
say something. Okay, you have nothing to say. You were raising your hand, so I was thinking you had something to say before. That was the reason why you were raising your hand.
Sorry for any inconvenience.
sorry for any inconvenience.
All right, we can leave. Thank you very much.